Poverty, a severe deprivation of basic human needs, including limited access to education. Whilst we once would have associated this level of poverty with countries which are considered third world, recent worldwide financial and government policy failings have resulted in poverty becoming a real issue for many people within first world countries like Australia. For many regions within Australia that have suffered the collapse of their major income source, whether it be through manufacturing, agriculture, mining or fossil fuel power production because of government policies or cheaper offshore costs, the structure of support from social services has caused many regions and families to become poverty-stricken. Those living within the cycle of poverty are vulnerable to forms of exclusion and reduced participation in schools, often without this being deliberate or even recognised, and often succumb to antisocial behaviours such as crime, drug use, alcohol consumption, mental health concerns and low self-esteem. Children living in these situations may also come under the influence of these antisocial behaviours or develop their own issues from watching their parents' behaviour. Hyde, Carpenter and Conway comment that poor literacy and numeracy skills are directly linked to poverty. They are not necessarily caused by poverty, but often result from a lack of access to and participation in school due to circumstance. Reducing the impact of poverty through education will not provide an immediate improvement, but will deliver tangible outcomes over a number of years. As educators, we can engage with parents who wish to be engaged and refer them to available services, but in many cases, these parents do not seek intervention or support from anyone, and thus we can only work with the student to give them the support and encouragement they need to feel that school is a safe and supportive environment and one which they will continue to return to by providing and maintaining an inclusive classroom. Living in a region or city with several major industries recently shut down and a large population of Indigenous people, there has been quite a drastic rise in the number of social and support services available and people accessing them. There has also been, over the summer months, a significant increase in youth-related social problems. For this reason, I chose to attend the local youth centre for my community service, to have the opportunity to acquaint myself with young people, many of whom I will be teaching during my placement at the local DECT High School. My first contact with the youth centre was through its manager, and immediately I came to realise that I already had incorrect ideas as to what the youth centre does and its target audience. I had always thought that the youth centre was originally started for Indigenous youth to get them off the street during the summer months when antisocial behaviour peaked, but in fact this couldn't be more wrong. The youth centre is funded for both Indigenous and non-Indigenous school students from 6 years of age. The manager is employed full-time to program and coordinate activities and perform an administrative role. Other staff are qualified youth workers employed on a casual basis. Each week there are assorted after-school activities held daily, including girls group and boys group run in conjunction with the Red Cross. Staff provide an after-school snack and drink for participants. Friday and Saturday night the centre is open from 6 until 10:30 p.m. for all youth. All participants are signed in and out by a worker and must provide an address and contact details of a parent or guardian. At 8:30 our under 12s are picked up by family or dropped home by the youth centre bus and all other youth from 10:30 p.m. The youth centre receives food donations from Food Bank and has these available for youth to eat whilst at the centre. This allows everyone access to nourishment, and for some it is all they have been provided all day. For those who have been given some spending money, there is a canteen which provides hot food, lollies, soft drink and juice. Workers keep a record of what is purchased by whom to ensure that people are only eating a small amount of sometimes food. Staff show a genuine concern for the safety and well-being of all the youth who attend the centre, and this is reflected in the behaviour of the youth whilst at the centre. I was really impressed with how the youth centre was run and the level of respect that the youth showed towards the rules and the staff. In every aspect of how the centre was run, they have limited the possibility of anyone being labelled deficit by providing a myriad of activities from arts and crafts to various sports, and have a TV and games consoles available. Youth of all ages join in games of chase, donut eating competitions and painting banners for the wall. It felt encouraging that nobody seemed to think that there was an activity that they were not welcome to participate in. There really were no barriers. Children do, however, get excluded from activities at the centre if they use bad language repeatedly, bully another person, backchat staff or get into trouble with the police. Penalties range from sitting out for 10 minutes to not being able to attend for a weekend. I think this type of exclusion can be reforming and assist in setting standards and boundaries. And from conversations with the youth who use the centre, they also appreciate this, knowing that they will not be made to feel deficient or excluded by another person's actions and words. Neoliberalism is where challenges arise for youth within the classroom as they are expected to conform and are bound by the constraints of an education system that has good intentions with honourable outcomes but does not necessarily consider the realities of the individuals within the classroom. Its constraints are best represented by standardised testing methods, the format in which the questions are asked, and the time constraints for test completion. Students have mentioned they feel pressured doing the test and do not understand many of the questions, how they are asked and what they need to do to get an answer from them. Students even declare that they stay at home to avoid being tested or randomly select answers during the test. I really enjoyed the insight I gained during my time at the Youth Centre, and I am keen to re-enter the classroom during my placement to redirect my focus to how I build relationships with my students, to better understand their life, their successes and challenges, and use this knowledge to better serve them by giving them an education which will make them successful learners, confident and creative individuals, and active and informed citizens.